Good day everyone and good day sir. Today I will discuss Module 5 Islam in Moral History. So at the end of this lesson, we should be able to answer 3 questions. 1. What is Islam and its basic tenets? 2. How did Islam reach Southeast Asia and the Philippine archipelago? 3. Which personalities introduced Islam in Minsupala? First, what is Islam? So Islam means absolute surrender or submission to the will of Allah or God. The word Islam comes from the word salam, which means peace. Therefore, Islam is considered a religion of peace, and Muslims are expected to be peaceful and righteous people. So, according to Islam, Allah's will is revealed through the scriptures given to the prophets, such as Prophet Muhammad, who received the Quran, Jesus or Isa, who received the Gospel, David, who received the Psalm, and Moses or Musa, who received the Torah. So Islam stands on 5 pillars which serve as its basic tenets. The first pillar is Shahada or the profession of faith. It's the first important requirement for a person to become a Muslim. It is done by saying with real conviction,
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
meaning I bear witness that there is only one God and Muhammad is a messenger of God. So this pillar emphasizes Tawhid or the oneness of God. Muslims believe that only Allah should be worshipped and associating partners with God is the grievous sin. The second pillar is Salah or the 5 daily prayers. These are Fajr, Zuhur, Azr, Maghrib, and Aisha. So before praying, Muslims perform wudu, a ritual cleansing of different parts of the body. Salah reminds Muslims to remain obedient, honest, and mindful of God. The third pillar is zakat or alms-giving. Muslims who earn income are required to give approximately 2.5% of their yearly income to help the poor and needy. This teaches social responsibility and concern for others. The fourth pillar is asiyam or fasting during the month of Ramadan. So fasting develops self-discipline, patience, endurance, and spirituality. It also reminds Muslims to become closer to Allah and to care for those who experience hunger and hardship. The fifth pillar is Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Muslims who are physically and financially capable are encouraged to perform Hajj at least once in their lifetime. Hajj symbolizes sacrifice, devotion, and the unity of Muslims worldwide. Just and harmonious with others. Islam teaches Muslims to be just, respectful, and peaceful towards others. The Quran says that all people came from the same origin and were created into different nations and tribes to know one another, not to hate each other. Muslims are instructed to treat everyone fairly, even those they dislike. Islam also prohibits racism, insulting others, mocking people, suspicion, spying, and backbiting.
Good day, everyone. My name is Island Avenue. I'll be the one to continue the report. So, let's start with the on religious tolerance. So, the first one is Islam promotes peaceful coexistence and harmony among all religions. Islam they base in Quran commands Islam commands and to allow other people of faith and their religion freely and peace. So there are 2 types of jihad. The first one is there are misconception in jihad. Jihad is equals violence or tolerance. Violence or tolerance. The true meaning literally means struggle. The 2 types of jihad is the first one is jihad all asgar is the lesser jihad, physically fighting or only allowed in defense. And jihad ul akbar naman is greater one. It is means spiritual struggles against one's own bad habits or desire. So let's move to on not eating pork. The first one is Islam do not eat pork because it's exclusive to Islam. Other religions also forbid it. The religious Quran classifies it unclean and forbidden. The scientific link to the high blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, and gallstone. In Muslim naman, they see this as a proof of divine wisdom. So, the next one is on polygamy. Uh, Polygamy did not start with Islam. It existed in old Arab culture. They married up to 10 or 15 wives before. But the purpose of polygamy is a social duty to care for widows and orphans after wars. The rules naman is maximum of 4 wives only and only if you can treat them 100% equally. So the next one is, what is the verdict? It's allowed but not encouraged in monogamy. It's better and prepared. So let's move to wearing the veil. Uh, the local term is kumbong, like what Mama Mary wear before. Based in Quran 24:31, the instruction is that the women to be modest, lower their gaze, and cover adornment, except to close family. So, so it means that wearing veil make them modest like Mama Mary, and it's more like decency or dignity of a woman. So, how Islam reached in Southeast Asia and Philippines? The reason Islam reached in Southeast Asia is to spread the teachings and equality, protections of women, orphans. They help the poor and they have high morals attracted or attracting people. How they arrive in Philippines? They entered through Sulu, Palawan, and Mindanao with traded routes. So the the traders arrived as early as 10th century. By 1310 AD, established communities existed in Hulu. So there are two theories how it came. The first one is missionary theory, brought by the religious teachers, not the Islam or priests because they don't have that, but the Muslim shares faith. The second theory is trade theory. They brought entirely by the merchants by doing business.
Good day, everyone. I will tackle about the roots of Islam in Minsapala. The main message in this topic is that Islam's history in the Philippines is often remembered through the lens of war and conflict, but its actual arrival and early roots were entirely peaceful. Long before the Spanish arrived, Islam became an organic part of culture, trade, and politics of Mindanao, Sulu, and Palawan, also known as Minsupala. It didn't arrive with conquering armies. Instead, it was carried by traders, scholars, and travelers who brought a universal faith, an advanced legal system, and sophisticated political issues and ideas. Next is the pioneers of Sulu, trade, genealogy, and local integration. The main message of this slide is that the conversion of Sulu was slow, highly personal process built on relationships, families, and mutual respect. Here are the key points I will share that is connected on the relationship, families, and mutual respect. First is the merchant. As early as the 10th century, the Arab traders lived peacefully in Sulu, earning local trust through fair trade and practices. Next is the family man, or the Tuan Mashaika. He integrated into the community by marrying a local chief's daughter, ensuring the first generation of native Muslims grew up in the faith. Next is the teacher, si Karim ul Makdum, a Sufi mystic who won people's heart through kindness, charisma, and spiritual teaching that easily blended with local worldviews. Last, the statements. The best example for this is si Sayyid Abu Bakr, married into local royalty, became the first sultan and chose diplomacy over force to win over the interior hill tribes using gifts and kindness to build peace. Thank you. So for the third slide, the spread to mainland Mindanao. Sharif Kabungsuan and political unity. The main message for this topic is that the Islam spread to mainland Mindanao not by conquering the land, but by uniting its diverse ethnic groups through family alliances and strong governance. So, Sharif Muhammad Kabungsuan arrived in Cotabato with a group of Samal companions. He possessed a noble heritage that commanded immediate respect. So there are key points I will share, and the first one is the leader. As I've mentioned earlier, Sharif Muhammad Kibongsoan arrived with a group of Samal companions. He possessed a noble heritage that commanded immediate respect. Next is the marriage diplomacy. Instead of waging war, Kabongsuan married the daughters of the local ruling datus or chiefs of the Maguindanao and Aranon peoples. Next is the Sultanate. The marriages unified the regional tribes under a central government. The Maguindanao Sultanate, which provided shared laws, protection, and collective identity. Next and last is the natural growth. From this hub, Islam naturally traveled along rivers and trade path peaceful, spreading to Lanao, Sarangani, and Davao. Last slide, a concluding peace value, moving past the the, the divide and rule legacy. So for the main message for this slide is the historical friction between Muslim and Christians in the Philippines is not a natural religious conflict. It was deliberately manufactured by colonial powers. So there are four key points that I will share. So the first is that the common ground. Islam and Christianity are both Abrahamic faiths that share core spiritual values of peace, love, and compassion. The next is the colonial wedge. Before colonizers arrived, the indigenous people of the Philippines traded, lived, and married across different belief systems in relative peace. Next, divide and rule. Spanish colonizers used converted northern natives who became early Filipino Christians to fight their wars against the southern sultanates or the Moros. This deliberate strategy created generations of artificial distrust. So last, the path to peace. Recognizing that these divisions as a colonial construct allows both groups to heal, deconstruct old prejudices, and rediscover their shared heritage. Thank you.